Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? So today we're going to be talking about help. I'm in a secret relationship, episode 7. Definitely, if you're not yet part of the family, go ahead and hit subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. Okay, boo? So let's go ahead and talk about this episode. So Julie and Carlos, they're in a 4-year relationship. And, you know, it's been pretty good. Julie seems very smitten. You know, she likes him a lot. And he's Hispanic. He's from Venezuela, as well as his family. And she is Catholic. No, he's Catholic and she's Jewish. She's obviously a Caucasian girl. So, they do a lot of things together. They even moved in together and everything. But the crazy part that makes this whole situation fit for the show is that his family has never met her. So there goes the little caveat right there. So she said that she met him because he was like a realtor when she was looking for a place. So that's how the whole love thing kind of began or whatever. She did admit to Ronnie and Travis that she has OCD. So a lot of times when something little happens, she tends to focus on it. She has intrusive thoughts and it's like she just can't really let it go. It just keeps on going and going like a nonstop spiral. And she does wonder what he's hiding. She feels like there are stuff or things that he's hiding and it's definitely bothering her. And I'm pretty sure she's like having all these ideas in her head, like, could it be this, could it be that, you know what I mean? They meet her and, well, they meet her friend Rachel, and her friend Rachel said that she thinks that he could possibly be broke. She said that she thinks this because she has this pay app or whatever. I guess it's kind of like, damn, I forgot the name of it. There's this other one that I use, or I used to use, or I've used a few times. I forgot the name of it at the moment, but it's kind of a similar type of situation where you can see who people are sending stuff to, which I do feel like is kind of somewhat an invasion of privacy. But you can definitely change the privacy settings. Let me see if I can, because it's kind of like, what's the name of it again? Like I'm thinking of it in my head. Which one is it? I have like all my pay stuff right here. But did I delete it? I don't know. Maybe I deleted it because I don't use it anymore. I think it's Venmo. Yeah, Venmo is the one that's kind of similar to that, where you could see like, because I know like I have some people on there. I took off those privacy settings, but you could see like who they sent money to, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, people know when you're spending money, when you're not spending money. Like, this ain't social network or social media for money. I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know, we're at the point where we're just sharing way too much, you know what I mean? Like, some things need to be kept to the imagination. But that's that. So now Rachel, like I said, she thinks that he's broke because of that, because she sees like things where it says like his mother sent him money for a bill or for rent and all these other stuff. So it's like, does he have any money at all? Like, maybe that's his big, deep, dark secret that he has. So the next person that they meet up with was Julia's other friends, which is Spencer and some other chick. So the guy said that she thinks that it could possibly be because of the cultural differences that they have, you know, being the fact that one is Jewish, one is Catholic. That could definitely be kind of hard. And then the guy, he says that he went to one of his shows and he was talking about a vasectomy and he knew like the procedural stuff, and you know, it was a joke, but you know how they say a lot of truth is said in jest. So I guess that's kind of what he's feeling from the vibe he was given. Like, he knew way too much details when he was talking about it on stage, is what he claims. So it could be something, you know. They told her what they found out. He could be broke, or he could not have the ability to have kids, or possibly it's the cultural differences and religious differences that they have. So, you know, when Travis had first spoken to what's her name, to Julie, he had mentioned like, do you think that he could possibly be seeing someone else? So you don't tell someone who has OCD or who has anxiety, general anxiety disorder, or any other type of thing where they get intrusive thoughts, these types of things, because then they're going to start overthinking. It's going to start going around and around. And, you know, because I've definitely had those moments where it's like, you know, I hear one little thing and I'm just making all these different scenarios in my head of what the thing could be. Like, don't ever tell me like we need to talk about something and you're gonna tell me later or next week. Like, dude, just tell me today, because you telling me that is giving me so much anxiety. So I could just only imagine how she felt with him saying that, because now she said, like, that's all I can think about ever since you said that. You know, and he was like, well, I don't mean it like that I know for sure. It was just like, you know, kind of throwing the possibilities out there. Like, dude, you say that you have all these things. I forgot what he said he had. I think he said he has depression and anxiety or something else. And you're doing the exact things that they would probably tell you to not do to somebody else. You know what I mean? They had went over to meet up with him or whatever. And he was with his manager. It's supposed to be a day in the life of the, what they had called him? The day in the life of the Equalizer. That's his wrestling name. So he does wrestling as well. And it was so cringe. Like, he picked up Travis and showed him how he wrestles, how he does a slam. And then they like cooked food for him. Like, his mom and dad cooked like these nice Venezuelan dish for them. And I felt bad because like they pretty much wasted the food, because it's like they go everywhere and they eat people's food. I'm like, yo, couldn't be me, because I ain't eating from everybody. It's not going down like that. But yeah, they be eating from everybody. And so they got the food, and it looked like they just like pretty much tasted it. And then they started talking to him. They kept on talking about Julie, and the family, they don't really speak English. So they're like, you know, why you keep on saying Julie? Like, who's Julie? Is this a friend? Like, what's going on? So then they spoke to him privately and told him like what show you're really on. It's not a day in the life of the Equalizer. Like, nobody don't care about you that much for you to be getting your own show like that. So he was upset about it. He seemed like he was about to have like a fit. You know, and they had some good steak too. They had some steak and some rice. Like, the food actually looked better than most of the places that they went to and had people food. Yeah, so he was like he has to think about it. It's something that he has to tell her, and he's not sure how she's gonna take it. So they speak to her or whatever. And now they get to the point where she's going to come over and he's going to finally tell them what it is. Julia, I mean, she was pretty much anticipating the worst. She seemed like she was very nervous about everything. That's the point where she had said, you know, how she feels. And when they were both together, he said like the whole thing about the money stuff, like that's a joke. You know, his mom just puts that stuff up because it's funny. He said he does it to his friend. He'll be like, he'll send them $6 and be like, this is for your house, you know. So it's all part of a game, and his mom thinks it's hilarious as well. He said as far as the vasectomy thing, it was a joke, you know. That's solely where it ends. It's not that, it's something else, but he's worried about it because he doesn't want her to leave. Come to find out, this was like mad weird. The homie was having sex parties. Yes. And yo, he showed her, he said that his whole family knows about it, and this is how he makes money. And she was pissed off about it when she heard. You could just see it in her face. She's like, it's the deceit for her. That's what did it, you know. And then she also saw a video. He was like, all right, let me show you an example. From what they said, there was a part that they probably didn't show. He was sucking on dildos, because I heard that Travis say, what if she was doing the same thing, sucking on dildos and spanking guys? You know, he was spanking a guy. And, you know, she said from the beginning that she's very conservative. She grew up very different than he did. He makes obscene jokes. She does not. Like, she's more like, you know, for him to be Catholic, like, dang, bro, like, it didn't work too well. You know what I mean? But I guess he's not, like, I don't want to say Orthodox, so that's more of a Jewish thing, but he's not super religious, I'm supposing, even though he claims the whole Catholic thing. It doesn't seem like he's super religious. Probably more so, you know, the whole, oh, do we take the kids to the church, or do we take them to, you know, where Jewish people go? I forgot the name of it, y'all. But y'all know what I'm talking about. No disrespect. But yeah, so he was just kind of like, when he showed her the video, she looked like she was disgusted. I think that she was probably trying her best not to say anything that sounds like homophobic or any type of slurs or anything that could get her canceled. Like, I think she was at least thinking logically enough not to be offensive to anyone, but it seemed like she was like mortified, and she was just like, you know, feeling like, ew, like, you know, like she looked like she was grossed out, and she was like, this is nasty, like, no. And then she just walked away for a minute. But she, after, you know, they had a talk with her, she said that this is not the end all be all, but she did ask him, like, would you stop doing this for me? But he's like, yeah, you know, I would. So it seems like it was a pretty easy thing. And the best part about it is that same day, because this was filmed at his house, they were able to go outside when the parents came home later on that evening, and she was able to finally meet the family. So she should definitely, or she should have probably, if she wanted to meet them so bad, I do feel like, I mean, I don't know how her Spanish is, but I do feel like she should have practiced her Spanish more over the course of these last 4 years, so she'll be able to have decent conversations with them. Because when Ronnie and Travis were talking to them, it seemed like they didn't really know much of anything as far as English. You know what I'm saying? He said he was born in Venezuela as well, but he's more Americanized, because his American accent doesn't even sound like it has any like Hispanic for the most part in it. It just sounds really like, you know, really solid Americanish. But yeah, I mean, this episode was okay. It was just odd. I think that's how I'll kind of classify this one as odd. It wasn't like a super shocker, like, oh my god. I mean, it was a little weird, but it wasn't like epic, you know. But we'll see what happens next one. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Laters.